Psychologists discovered something disturbing about how our minds work.
Try something for a moment. Turn off the music. Put the phone down. Let the room go quiet. Now, notice what happens. For many people, silence doesn't feel peaceful. It feels uncomfortable, sometimes even unsettling. But why would the absence of sound make the human brain uneasy? The answer begins thousands of years ago. For most of human history, silence wasn't safe. In nature, sound meant life. Wind moving through trees, insects humming, water flowing nearby, the quiet chatter of your tribe. Sound meant the environment was predictable. But sudden silence? That meant something changed. When birds stop chirping in the forest, it usually means a predator is near. Your nervous system learned to associate silence with uncertainty, and the brain does not like uncertainty. Your brain is constantly predicting, what's happening next? Am I safe? Do I need to prepare? Noise gives it information. Silence removes that information. And when external input drops, the brain doesn't always relax. Instead, it shifts inward. There's a network in your brain called the default mode network. It becomes more active when you're not focused on the outside world. In simple terms, when the world goes quiet, your mind gets louder. Thoughts begin to surface. Unfinished tasks, conversations you replay, things you wish you'd said differently, future worries that haven't even happened. Silence becomes a mirror, and not everyone is comfortable looking into it. In today's world, we are almost never alone with our thoughts. There is always background noise, a podcast, a video, a notification, something to fill the space. Your brain has adapted to constant stimulation. Every scroll, every message, every small piece of content gives your brain a tiny reward signal. When that stimulation suddenly stops, it can feel like withdrawal. Not because silence is harmful, but because your nervous system got used to noise. It's not the silence itself that feels uncomfortable, it's the contrast. Like walking into a dark room after being in bright sunlight. Your eyes need time to adjust. So does your mind. There's also a social layer to silence. In conversation, silence can feel awkward. You wonder, did I say something wrong? Are they judging me? Do they feel bored? Humans evolved in groups. Belonging meant survival. So your brain is hyper-aware of social signals. And when there's a gap, no words, no feedback, your mind fills it, often with negative assumptions. But here's something important. Silence is not the enemy. It's exposure. When the noise fades, you finally hear what was always there, your own internal dialogue. And that can be uncomfortable at first, because awareness requires stillness. When people try meditation for the first time, they expect calm. Instead, they find chaos, racing thoughts, restlessness, impatience. That's not a failure. That's clarity. The mind was already busy. Silence just made it noticeable. Over time, something interesting happens. If you sit with silence long enough, your nervous system adapts again. The initial discomfort fades. The thoughts slow down. The urgency softens. Silence stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like space. Space to observe. Space to reflect. Space to respond instead of react. Your brain evolved to treat silence as uncertainty, but you don't live in the wild anymore. Not every quiet moment hides danger. Sometimes it hides opportunity. The opportunity to understand your own mind. So the next time you feel the urge to fill every quiet moment with noise, Pause, just for a little longer than feels uncomfortable. Ask yourself, is this silence dangerous or just unfamiliar? The more you practice stillness, the less threatening it becomes. And eventually, silence doesn't feel empty, it feels powerful. If this changed how you think about quiet moments, subscribe to LucidPsych, because understanding your mind is the first step to mastering it. And I want to know, do you find silence calming or uncomfortable? Sleep well.